believers and not-believers alike, theologians, painters, and poets. It would be appropriate to remember some historical facts. At the times of Jesus, only certain people were literate: rich men, Jewish men, and those considered teachers or wise, such as the three in our passage. These were Persian priests belonging to the order of Zoroastrianism. As part of their religion, these priests paid particular attention to the stars and gained an international reputation for astrology, which was at the time highly regarded as a science. As the story goes, there was a Persian belief connecting the rise of a star predicting the birth of a ruler with myths describing the manifestation of a divine figure in fire and light. Remember, we still carry our own traditions and stories from our families of origin. When we go to visit the arrival of a child, we bring presents. Nowadays, we have baby showers and other similar celebrations, even before the baby is born. Have you heard of the new ones where they have to say that the color will determine the sex of the baby? That's funny, I didn't do that. So it's logical and understandable to read about these wise men visiting the important newborn. The Magi are described as falling down, kneeling, or bowing in the worship of Jesus. This gesture, together with Luke's birth narrative, had an important effect on Christian religious practices. They were indicative of great respect and typically used when venerating a king. Apart from their names, the three Magi developed distinct characteristics in Christian tradition, so that between them, they represented the three ages of adult men, three geographical and cultural areas, and sometimes other things. Their ages were often given as 60, 40, and 20 respectively. Caspar is old, normally with a white beard, and gives the gold. Melchior is middle-aged, given frankincense, and Balthasar, being the youngest and dark-skinned, bringing myrrh. Many different theories of the meaning and symbolism of the gifts have been brought forward. The three gifts had a spiritual meaning. Gold is a symbol of kinship on earth. Frankincense, which is an incense, is a symbol of deity. And myrrh is an embalming oil as a symbol of death. These interpretations are alluded to in the verses of the popular carol, We Three Kings, which we sang, but in English makes more sense, in which the Magi describe their gifts. The last verse includes a summary of the interpretation. Glorious now behold him, arise King and God, and sacrifice. How do we continue to carry on with this particular tradition is something I would like to explore with you this morning. In the Spanish-speaking parts of the world, Los Tres Reyes Magos de Oriente, or simply Los Reyes Magos, receive letters from children so that they can bring them gifts on the night before Epiphany. In Spain, La Madre Tierra, Each one of the Magi is supposed to represent a different continent. Europe by Melchior, Asia by Caspar, and Africa Balthasar. According to the tradition, the Magi come from the Orient on their camels to visit the houses of their children, much like Santa Claus with his reindeer goes everywhere. In Spain, there is a long tradition for having the children receive presents by the Los Reyes Magos, on the night of January 5th or the morning of January 6th. Almost every city or town in Spain organizes cabalgatas in the evening, in which the kings and their servants participate in the parade and throw sweets to their children and their parents. La cabalgata de los Tres Reyes in Alcoy claims to be the oldest in the world, having started in 1886. There is also a roscón in Spain, or rosca de los Reyes in Mexico. In Paraguay, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic, children cut grass or greenery on January 5th and put it in a box under their bed for the king's camels. Children receive gifts on January 6th, which is called El Día de Reyes, and is traditionally the day in which the Magi arrive bearing gifts for the Christ child. So Christmas starts in December and ends in January, although in Puerto Rico there are 8 more days of celebration called Las Octavitas. Wouldn't that be cool? Celebrating. In Colombia, people do not celebrate El Día de los Reyes, but most people wait until January 6th to dismantle los pesebres, or the nativity sets. It is an old tradition to construct or to build a nativity set in Colombian homes. When I was growing up, the custom was to display the nativities as one does in this country with the Christmas trees. My grandmother lived in a second humongous house. She had 4 floors, but the first one was our home, and the second was her home. The third was an apartment for one of her daughters, and the fourth one was La Azotea, where she raised doves and chickens and ducks and whatever. Anyway, so she will put in the front of the second floor by the window. That was her living room. So she pulled the pesebre there so people will see it up. Beautiful. Like that, but much bigger. So I do collect nativity sets and I display them around my house through December. My husband used to say, you can take the girl out of Colombia, but you cannot take Colombia out of the girl. So yes, I do hold a very special place for some native traditions and hope to pass them along to my family and share it with my friends. But giving is an art, in my opinion, and that's why those gifts that were offered to Jesus were so significant. Some people are very good at the art of giving, and others are not. Maybe sometimes we need to redirect those who give gifts that are not too well thought of. One true story comes to mind about the first Christmas gift my husband gave me. It was a shoe rack. Yes, some of you may picture my face at opening the gift, and my question was, why? To which John responded, but you need it. You have too many shoes. Well, next year I wrote a list of possible wanted gifts so as not to have any confusions or misunderstandings. I guess some people assume that a practical item is a good gift. My sister's ex-husband once gave her a refrigerator for Christmas, because we needed a new one. I do hope that most of you got gifts that were meaningful this year. But I want to remind all of us that the best and most wonderful gift we all have ever received is the gift that was found on a manger, wrapped in swaddling clothes. Baby Jesus, the Son of our God, our Lord and our Savior. He gave his life for us. So may we all carry this blessed occasion in our minds so that we may share that joy, the joy that is God's gift to the world, and the joy that brings us happiness all year round. Amen? Amen.
Where's my music?
choir, that is awesome! You know. I'm going to ask the choir to help me when I tell you, okay? With that, so Christ for the congregation, begin your work.